Rigvedic society. Society was formed on the basis of lineage during Vedic period, that is blood relations. Families connected to each other by blood relations formed into kula or clan. So the formation of Varna system was the most important social development. The Aryans called themselves Sweta Varna. The dark-skinned non-Aryans were called Krishna Varna. Thus, in the first stage, completion has become basis for Varna system, dividing the society into two Varnas. And in the second stage, the Varna system was identified with occupations formed on the basis of temperament and aptitude, which means aptitude means vritti and temperament means pravritti, which dividing the society into three varnas, whereas Brahmin, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. There were Shudras formed the lowest section of the society with Varna status. They were very much Aryan and were not subjected to untouchability. Dasas were the non-Aryan slaves and were the lowest of the society. Dasyus, they were independent non-Aryans. The Varna system was very much liberal and highly flexible. It permitted change of Varna by changing occupation. Intervarna marriages and intervarna dining were also permitted. Purusha Shukta is the most important source on the origin of Varna system. It is the part of 10th chapter of Rigveda. It was actually composed in later Vedic period and added into Rigveda. Women in Rigvedic society were given absolute freedom and liberty. They were permitted to study the Veda, performed rituals and ceremonies, and to wear sacred threads. There were great women scholars called Vishwanandins who dedicated their life for studies. The great Vishwanandins were Gagri, Maitreyi, Vishwavara, Lodamudra, Javala, and Apala. They can attend popular assemblies. It was Gagri who challenged the greatest scholar of the Rigvedic age, Yagnavalkya. He belonged to the court of King Janaka. He composed Brihadranyaka Upanishad, the first Upanishad to deal with transmigration of soul. It was translated into English by T.S. Eliot called Wasteland. There were no social evils like child marriages, dowry, untouchability, and custom of sati. So during Rigvedic time, women has no discrimination faced. As for coming to economy, it was essentially pastoral. Cow was regarded sacred. It was the Hidri, which means the daughter of family. Govasti, which means searching for cattle, and agriculture was practiced on a limited scale. However, rice was meant for rituals and ceremonies. Due to limited cultivation, there was no trade and commerce. Towns and cities were not formed. The word Puram, which meant city, was mentioned in Rigveda only once. Nishka means gold, Satamana, which means silver, both used for transaction. There was no currency system. It was essentially a village economy with barter system. And next, coming to religion. Rigvedic religion may be defined as monoism or henotism. God is one, forms are many. According to Rigveda, universe evolved out of great sacrifice performed by the oldest god, Father Zeus and Mother Pravriti. Universe divided into three parts or three spheres, which celestial, aeric, terrestrial. During celestial, Varuna Surya Putra, and during aeric, Indra, Rudra, Vayu, and during terrestrial, Prithvi, Agni, Soma, and Brihapati. Coming to god Indra, the god of celestial sphere and the most prominent god, maximum number of slokas in Rigveda are addressed to Indra, where in 1028, 250 are for Indra. He is god of war and victory. He destroys the city, as such called Purandhara. He saved the universe by killing the demon serpent Vritra. Coming to Varuna, god of aerial sphere, god of rain, prosperity, ethics, and values. He is the most sublime and auspicious of all the gods. He punishes the immoral and unethical. He is the custodian of world moral order called Vritha. Coming to Agni, god of terrestrial sphere, by profession priest called Hotri. He presides over the ceremonies and rituals and carries the wishes of the people to the gods of heaven. His other name, Havyavahana, which means god with smoke as vehicle, and Hutashana, which means purifier of everything. second most prominent god with 220 verses in Rig Veda. And now coming to Savitri, Surya and Mitra, these are names of sun god. The most sacred mantra Gayatri is addressed to Savitri. It was composed by Vishwamitra and is part of third chapter of Rig Veda. Now coming to Soma, this is a moon god, god of nourishment. Entire ninth chapter or ninth mandala of Rig Veda is dedicated to Soma. Ashwin, these are gods and herbs and medicines. Rudra, the only non-Aryan god accepted by the Aryans, Pashupati of Indus Valley times. Saraswati, only goddess of divinity, the goddess of learning. Ila, the goddess of evil spirit. Aryanyai, the goddess of wild animals and beasts. Usha, beautiful prince of dawn. The Rigvedic religion was quite simple without complicated rituals and ceremonies. It emphasized on prayers. There was no idol worship. So, this was about the Rigvedic religion, and prayers were offered to God in expectation of rewards. And also, we find their ghee, milk, and grain were given as offerings. That's all for the Vedic religion society. Thank you.